Hello, Shelley Ramus, Volunteer Specialist with the Iowa 4-H program. In last week's weekly volunteer management video, I highlighted a journal article, The Dynamic Tension, Professionals and Volunteers by Alan Snyder. In that video, we focused on the first half of the article and some of what I took away to be key takeaways. In this week's video, we will look at the second half of the journal article, and I'll do my best to summarize and highlight key points. However, again, I strongly encourage you to go ahead and read the full journal article as well for yourself. Last week, a key theme we covered from the journal article was that extension programs are strongest and at their best when there is partnership and a balance of program ownership and responsibilities between the professionals and volunteers. We also highlighted the 4 ways in which extension professionals can have success in empowering their volunteers. As we look at the second part of the journal article, we learn more about the dynamic tension that can occur between professionals and volunteers. However, when both volunteers and professionals share leadership, there is a balance. The article goes on to explain that if the balance is not equal with either the professional or volunteer, that both can feel a negative impact. Agents or the extension professional must play a key role in managing this balance. It can be a positive tension when balanced with leadership on both ends. When it comes to expanded volunteer involvement, several factors were highlighted as keys for volunteer involvement. Agent self-confidence. A key factor for success of a volunteer leader-centered program is the agent's self-confidence. Agents need self-confidence to allow and enable volunteers to successfully assume more ownership of the program. Belief in volunteerism. A clear understanding by the agent and the extension administrators in the value of a leader-centered program is a must. Strong support system. It's important that the agent is supported and encouraged by the staff chairperson, state staff, administrators, and peers. An agent needs support and encouragement to take the risk of involving others. Starting small to learn. The concept of expanding programs by involving volunteers in program management tasks is complex. It's important to test the concept in a situation so the agent, volunteers, and legitimizers can understand the concept and learn all parts of the system. Realizing it takes years to develop. It can take 5 to 7 years for the concept of middle management volunteers to be incorporated into a system. Bringing legitimizers along. It's necessary to involve 4-H legitimizers in the initiation and development process. Legitimizers can include active 4-H volunteers, staff, the 4-H secretary, or others. Careful volunteer selection. Careful selection of key volunteers is essential. Characteristics may include recognition by peers as a leader, understanding 4-H objectives, effective communication skills, and qualifications and/or experience for the job that needs to be done. So far, this all sounds great. We find a balance of leadership between professionals and volunteers. We empower volunteers, and volunteers feel more ownership and ultimately impacting the program in positive ways, and we expand volunteer involvement. So why is this not done more? The article poses this question. Here are a few of the reasons that they point out. Change involves risk. Allowing volunteers to take more ownership in the program is a change involving many. Time is needed to establish the program. You need buy-in from others to establish the program, and it takes time for the idea to be understood and the change to be initiated and accepted. And finally, a factor can be the size of the county. In smaller counties, a more complex volunteer management system may not be as needed. However, the greater the volunteer ownership, no matter the size of the county, is still valid. The journal article summarizes by saying key volunteer leader involvement in program management roles is and can strengthen the 4-H program around the country. The summary goes on to say extension agents play a major role in the direction and leadership of the 4-H program. Their educational and leadership impact is expanded through the involvement of effective volunteers who take more ownership of the program. And finally, to end this segment, I wanted to add some feedback from one of our field specialists who shared some of their key takeaways after reading the journal article. She shared, "The reason I like this article so much is we know how important volunteers are to our programming and the 4-H organization. There is no way that we can reach as many young people as we do if we had no caring adults willing to give their time and talents." And another key takeaway that was shared with me was that delegating takes time and to start small. The article points this out more than one time. But what can you begin to do now to take small steps to empower and build leadership within your volunteer team? How can you brainstorm with your extension team on this topic? We would love to hear your success stories, so please keep us posted on your volunteer management success. Thank you and have a great day.